How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today, let's talk about limitation. First of all, if you think a person's limitation is limited, press 1, otherwise press 2. Let's see what are the outcomes that we are anticipating here. Before we get started, I just would like to give my personal story when I was at high school to you. I think this is very inspiring. So for me, when I was in China, study at high school, I only stayed there for 2 years. Since the third year, I've really went abroad. So a lot of my memories actually stayed in that 2-year duration, since a lot of things were happening at that time. And I can still remember clearly even today. A lot of teachers at that time, they just don't think I can achieve a good grade. Of course, there are a group of teachers that really believe me. They think I'm very ambitious and eager to learn. But some of the teachers, they just don't like me and they think I can't achieve good grade. There are two scenarios here. The first is one day, our chemistry teacher standing in the hall of our classmates, which is around 60 students at the time, and he said, "Li Nian, this guy, he can never achieve a good grade." Cause I just interrupt him for a stupid question, something like that. So I was super sad at that moment. I know I was just asking a stupid question, but why you just answer me like that? So it just shows no respect at all. The second story happens in the second year. So one day my parents, they went to my teacher's office and asked him how's my status, how's my progress. After they talked blah blah blah, and my teacher told my mom that actually I can hardly reach the first level college. So in China there are actually 3 levels. The first is first level. In Chinese we call it Yiben, and second and third level. So I can hardly reach the first category. Okay, so at that time I was at the best classes in our province, and every year we just have a lot of graduates went to college, and those are super great college. And my teacher tell me that I can hardly touch the line. And he also made some examples on the colleges, on the universities that I might be able to go in. Okay, this is interesting now. So you can see actually a lot of teachers, they just don't believe in me. And they will give me some very hurtful words and to somehow to limit my potential and tell me you just can't do it. And sometimes my parents, they also don't believe I can do well. Sometimes I will tell him, okay, I want to achieve high grade, I want to be the first in our class. Then they will say, darling, that's very hard. If you can achieve a okay grade, that's good enough for you, I believe. And sometimes you have to be the best. So these are my living environment. My parents, my family, my teachers, and sometimes my friends, they just don't believe in me. However, for grade, I will always tell myself, I want to do it better, okay? I want to be the first in our whole grade, even though there are 1,000 students, and maybe my grade at that time was only 400, 500, 300, something like that. I never give up my dream to be the first in our class, in our grade. And I believe a lot of my friends, even nowadays, we haven't met or talked to each other for a long time, I believe they will still have the kind of memory. Nian is a very ambitious guy. And also for the universities. So, the top 2 universities in China are Peking University and Tsinghua University. Even though for this kind of low probability, I've never ever gave up my dream to enter these 2 schools in those 2 years. Of course, eventually I haven't go to those 2 schools, but I just studied abroad. I would say it's quite a good experience, and when I look back for my classmates who enter those 2 universities, maybe their life right now are more struggling than me. So I'm very grateful for what I've done so far. From my story, maybe you can see here now that a person's potential is unlimited. And as long as you trust yourself, you can do something different. And it is not only me. Thomas Edison's dyslexia and ADHD led his mom to homeschool him, as she saw his confidence dwindling from instances at school in which his learning disabilities were obvious. Still, Edison became an incredible investor, creating the motion picture camera, the light bulb, and the phonograph. As you can see from this example, if Allison doesn't believe in him, if his mom doesn't believe in him, maybe he won't be a great inventor. And that's the power of belief, and the power of the belief that a person's potential is unlimited. In my past 20 years, I'm always believing I can do something. So I have a word for everybody. If you want to do something, no one can stop you. If you don't want to do something, even God cannot help you. So later I would like to give 2 more examples that sometimes right now people still doubt me, but I would say this is no doubt, okay? And sometimes when you hear something from me, it's like a joke. But I believe I can tell you like these things are achievable and I can somehow prove myself. So first thing is I will be a billionaire. Okay, I know I'm not arrogant or like want to show off, but I'm just telling you that not only me, but also you can be a billionaire. For most of the people, they believe that become a billionaire is super hard. So let me just give you an equation. So let's say currently you only have 200,000 US dollars. So I believe for 20 to 30-year-old people usually have that kind of savings, right? And as long as you invest those money with 15% annual interest rate, you will have over $200 million after 50 years. So after 50 years, that's the time you're gonna get retired and you will have over $200 million as long as you invest it safely and wisely. And 15% is actually an okay rate. For a very tremendous rate, which is around 20%, this kind of record held by Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's continuous investment made him a very successful billionaire, and that's the power of compounding. Hence, if you want to be a billionaire, if you want to be rich, the only thing you need to do right now is to believe yourself. You can do it. And the second thing is about my YouTube channel, and of course right now I also have my Bilibili channel, so that is like the YouTube in China. So when I first started this channel, actually I really didn't think of any monetization or any kind of influence. I would just do it for fun, that's it. So if you see my earliest video, of course on Bilibili you cannot see it, but feel free to check my early videos on YouTube. So at that time I was just filming some geek videos or like coding videos because I think it's cool. I just want to film it. I care nothing about my quality or my inspiration. I just like it. I think it's cool. And something changes afterwards when I was studying abroad at Wisconsin-Madison when I had my exchange there. So at that time in our AI course, so I still remember it's CS 540, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, and the prof is called Huang. There were around 300 students in that class, so that's a lot. However, the problem is just for the contents in the courses, most of students don't understand since AI is a bit hard and it needs a lot of fundamentals. And therefore for me, since I've already had some AI related projects and also did an AI related internship, therefore I'm quite familiar with AI compared to the rest of the students. Therefore I started to film YouTube videos. At that time I've also never ever thought about like to be a big influencer or to think to have a lot of subscribers. I've never ever thought about that. But yeah, so it's more like when you provide some good content, like your students or other people, they will just come and subscribe you and to give you feedback. And of course, as time passes by, one day I finally decided to show my face instead of to just share my computer screen and to say something. I want to show my face and to make a bigger influence to cover more areas in your life. And of course, during this journey, some of my friends, they also suggest me to just speak Chinese, since when you speak English, your pronunciation is not that good and you are a yellow skin people, maybe not many people will like your video. I thought about this suggestion deeply. However, I just don't want to give up my earliest intention to do this video. I do something for cool, okay? I think speaking English is cool. And also, I don't just want to give up my earliest audience, since I know my earliest audience are all English-speaking people. If I speak Chinese, they will never ever understand my video anymore. So I'm so grateful for what are the earliest audience in my channel, and I just don't want to give them up. And also, nowadays in China, more and more people are speaking English, and I believe that when I speak English, maybe they just want to practice their listening skills. So I believe in some perspective, I think my video has a better coverage than other Chinese speaking videos or channels. Alright, back to this topic. I know life is always uneasy. We might face a lot of challenges, and especially on me, I can feel so many things happening on me. However, one thing, always trust yourself that your potential is unlimited. As long as you believe it, you will see a big difference in your life. And just be patient, do whatever you can to practice yourself, and miracle will come. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video. Peace.